I've covered a lot of stories during my time on YouTube, but this is by far the most reprehensible. We've known what kind of company Disney is for a while, but I didn't even think they would be capable of this level of callousness. Disney has refused permission to a grieving dad to put a picture of Spider-Man on his 4-year-old son's grave. Ollie Jones, who died from a rare genetic disease, was Spider-Man mad, and his dad Lloyd, 36, wanted to honor his son's memory. I can't even imagine what this poor man has been through. Ollie was only 4. One of the few joys he had in life was his love of Spider-Man. Mr. Jones, from Maidstone, Kent, had wanted to put an etching of the superhero on his son's gravestone, but the huge US corporation, which posted revenues of £47.2 billion in 2018, has refused permission. The film giant said it wanted to preserve Spider-Man's innocence. This is the most pathetic excuse I've ever heard. What about the innocence of this young boy, whose life was ripped from him at 4? Mr. Jones initially approached Maidstone Council about the etching, but was told he would have to contact the copyright owners, which ultimately led to Disney denying his request. Mr. Jones said Disney did not want its characters associated with death. Disney's response to him was pathetic. A representative from the Walt Disney Company's Permissions Department wrote, "We extend our sincerest condolences. If we played a small part in Ollie's happiness, we are honored. Generations of fans have responded to our characters with the same wonder and delight that Ollie did. In fact, many believe the characters to be real. We have striven to preserve the same innocence and magic around our characters that brought Ollie such joy. For that reason, we follow a policy that began with Walt Disney himself that does not permit the use of characters on headstones, cemetery or other memorial markers, or funeral urns. There's a special place in hell for the person that prepared that response." The father of 6 said, "I really wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt sure they would allow it. I think most people would. I think this is all about money. But now he has died, and we won't be spending any more money. They don't care." Sadly, this is true. Disney has become one of the most evil corporations in history. They like to virtue signal, but when it comes to the wishes of a grieving father, a request that wouldn't have had any negative impact upon them whatsoever, they've decided to take the low road. Now they have a full-blown PR nightmare on their hands, and they deserve it. I hope people remember this. He added, "I think this is all about money. Ollie's last holiday was at Disneyland. He loved Spider-Man, and we had bought him all the toys. The little regular people don't matter. We are just there to give them money. But now he has died, and we won't be spending any more money. They don't care." I can't imagine what this poor man has been through. Very few of us could. These bastards put money ahead of a 4-year-old. Ollie died in December last year from a genetic disorder, leukodystrophy, which affects the brain and nervous system. That poor little guy. His 6-year-old sister Lila also suffers from the same disorder. This is just heartbreaking. Ollie's funeral procession in Maidstone, Kent, was led by someone dressed as Spider-Man, and the character was on his coffin too. Uncle Jason Jones, 37, said, "This meant everything to us. My brother's life has been shattered. It has shattered the whole family. We can't move on until we have his headstone done. Spider-Man was Ollie's entire life. He loved it so much. I didn't expect it to be an issue. My funeral director, who's also my friend, called me and told me they can't do it. I thought he was joking at first. We understand copyright, but we don't see why Marvel would have any issues with it." A Maidstone Borough Council spokeswoman said they would do everything they can to help the family. She added, "Maidstone Council Borough is trying to help a family who have asked whether they can place a Spider-Man headstone at the grave of their young son. Sadly, these types of stones have to adhere to copyright, and while we understand this is a very emotional time for the family, we have made contact with Marvel to ensure the family are complying with their terms and conditions." I'm going to leave you with this picture. Fuck you, Disney.